Hey everybody, we're Craig and Leslie. We are Road School Adventures. We're full-time van lifers, full-time crazy parents for taking the kids on the road full-time, and a crazy cocker spaniel. And what we want to do is now is show you the kind of the 5 things plus a bonus one at the end that we've kind of found, well, essential really, aren't they?
Yeah, game changers for us. Things that we've used probably every day since we've been on the road that has made life a little bit easier.
Yeah, and there's the bonus one is something we picked up just yesterday from people who've been van lifing and actually road schooled for over 10 years.
Yeah, so we've been on the road now for 2 months, two and a half months, and yesterday this tip came to us, so we thought rather than having 2.5 months of struggling, then you can have it straight away. Yeah,
that's the bonus at the end, so wait to the end for that. But let's start with number 5. First, number 5 is Facebook. Now, I hear some of you may be saying that, oh, I'm not bothered about putting my journey on Facebook, and that's absolutely fine. What's really the main part of Facebook is the support. So let's go and find a group called Motorhome Happiness. So you can see there's over 90,000 members in this group. We've got invaluable support from this group, also from vanlife-UK and the Peugeot Boxer Motorhome owners group. The amount of times we've had trouble with the motorhome or different things, but also just general questions for our first time going motorhoming across Europe. We've put questions in there, and we've had a multitude of people answering them. Now, if you've kind of experienced some of the groups, some of the other groups, you might get kind of abuse and different things like that in there, but don't worry about these groups. These groups have been absolutely fantastic, really friendly, really helpful, and absolutely fantastic support. So our top tip really, number 5, is to have Facebook and to certainly use it for the motorhome support groups.
Okay, so tip number 4 is to get yourself one of these. So this is a silver screen, so it reflects the heat when it's hot, unlike today when it's really cold and horrible and miserable. But when it is cold, it keeps the heat inside of the van and the cold out. So what it's been doing is stopping any condensation on the inside of the windscreen, which has been invaluable really for us, hasn't it? Yeah. Because that means that when we want to get going in the morning, we haven't got to squeegee off the windscreen. It's stopping any moisture inside of the van as well. But what it's also acting as is a bit of a privacy screen also, so when we're stopped in places like this where people are coming and going, we'll leave this on the front so people can't just look through the window and see what we're up to. So keeps the heat out, keeps the warmth in, and stops any kind of condensation.
And the amount of new motorhomes we've seen where they're blinds down and everything, internal ones.
Internal blinds, and then you see them of a morning time bringing the blinds down, but then still having a load of condensation on the inside. And the whole point is to try and keep the inside of the motorhome as dry as possible, so you're not getting any little bits of moisture and mould and mildew and things like that building up inside. So how much was this?
£50.
£50.
Fitted for the motorhome.
Yeah, so this one's specifically for our type of motorhome. So if you go online, you can do a Google search for your type of motorhome and find these sort of screens. Definitely would recommend these.
Yeah. Okay, so we're back in from the rain. So tip number 3, or essential thing number 3, is this, a Revolut card. Yeah, this has actually been revolutionary for our bank balance and the charges. And before we came away, we went and got a couple of £100 from Tesco's, turned into euros, and we searched all across the internet without going too mad. And the kind of biggest difference was about 1/2 cent per pound, and we got 111. Well, €1 and 11 cents per pound.
Yeah.
2 or 3 days later, we used this in a shop over in France, and exchange rate is done at the exact day, the exact exchange rate on that day, and it was €1.17.5 because there's no charges on it. So instead of using your normal bank account where you get your kind of international charges and you get a really poor interest rate, instead of getting cash out, exchange rate, instead of getting loads of cash out, just get a little bit of cash out so you've got some coins, but use the Revolut card. You can use this in any of the countries you go across in Europe, just like a normal bank card. You can go and withdraw from the hole in the wall as well. Use it in all the restaurants, everything.
Just as you would at home with a normal bank card.
That's it, and you get the exact exchange rate on the stock markets or wherever it is for that day, which is much better than you're going to get over the exchange counter for cash or through your bank cards. So that is an essential tip. Oh, and if you do want to kind of go through it, and if you do want to use the link that we're going to put below, then, you know, refer a friend, we'll get something, you'll get something. If not, just go to, I think it's www.revolut.com. So essential item number 2, what we found is this, a power bank. Now we've got a Vito Man, okay, with the 2 plugs in. I'm not even sure what the ampage is, to be honest with you. 600x, not sure. But it's been essential for
Either
us.
way.
Yeah, we're not very technical. It's been essential for us. Now, we're not sponsored by Vito Man. You can go and get any. There's lots out there. I'm sure there's lots out there better than this. We bought this one because it was on a good deal and we were on a tight budget. It did what it needed to do for us before we bought it. You can actually charge this while you're driving. You can use this, which we have done, to boost the engine battery if the engine battery goes flat. So it's got a little jumper cable that goes in there. But we charge this while we're driving. We can charge it when we're on hookup as well. And you got your 2-point plugs, you got your USBs, USCs and stuff like that, and different chargers. This has helped us stay off grid longer because we can charge all the phones, we can charge all the laptops, anything like that we need charging. It can be charged while you're just sat there. You can plug it into the 12-volt charger of the motorhome battery, the engine battery. Well, I wouldn't suggest doing it for long, but it's been essential, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been really good.
Yes, kept the phones going, kept this little portable power banks going, laptops and everything. As I say, you can just charge it when you're driving to your next place.
So we've not got we've not got solar and we've not got an inverter. So being able to use the 240 volt plugs for the laptop is mostly because we work online, our business is online, and occasionally when I've used it for my hairdryer as well. So that's what's been the best thing for us, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So top tip number 1. So we have 2 apps that we use to locate different places that we're going to be staying and for different services that we need, such as black water drop, grey drop, fresh water, electricity and so on and so forth. Those 2 apps are, one is Park for Night and the other one is Search for Sites. Now we use Park for Night most of the time. I'd say probably about 95% of the time we've used Park for Night. That has been invaluable for us. We used Search for Sites a couple of times because we wanted something a little bit more quirky or medieval or something a bit more specific, a type of place that we wanted to stay.
You can find the castles, can't you?
Yeah, you can put a search in for what type of place you want to stay at and it'll bring it up in the area that you're staying at. So I'm going to show you how Park for Night works. Okay, so this is the Park for Night website. Now we mostly use the Park for Night app on our phone just because the phone is handy and we're invariably about to drive off when we start looking for somewhere that we want to stay. But this is what it is on the app and on the website anyway. So as you can see, there are loads and loads of different places that you can stay, and you can see the different types. So campsite, parking, sort of a foresty kind of area. But if you click on the funnel up here, this little filter button, you can see all of the different options that you can click on. So what we use this one for is for finding our black drop, to get rid of the toilet water, As you can see here, black water, you've got drinking water, pets allowed, the list goes on. So we've paid for ours, but you can get a free version. How much was the yearly?
Free paid version, I think it was about 20 something pounds
Yeah,
for the year.
really, it was not much at all. So we've stayed in this area. This is just north of Cheshire and right down in this sort of southeast area of Germany. And this is where we stayed a few weeks ago, and it was a fantastic place. You can see it here. So if I go back into the filter, and here you can see all of the different icons for the type of places that you want to stay at. So we just did a search for free motorhome area, because we knew that that was then going to allow us to be able to do our water drop and our water fill up.
I checked free electric as well.
And it had free electric. So here we go, new Staden section. And if I click on there, there we go, it brings up the place that we stayed. Click into it. And here you can see the free places. This one actually is in Capron car park, which is a factory. And they make motorhomes, so obviously they want to try and promote their business. But Park for Night is absolutely full of these kinds of places. Here we go, so you can see all of the different reviews that people have put. Oh, somebody's been there after us, look. And then you can decide from the reviews whether you think it's somewhere that you want to stay, or whether maybe it isn't somewhere where you want to stay. And we have eliminated a lot of places based on the reviews that we've seen, but we absolutely loved it here. We spent a few nights here. So let me go back to Park for Night and places. So that is the front page, and then you just zoom into where you want to be. Let's see, bring it over. Zoom in, and then search in the area, and it'll bring up all of the different types of places that you can use. And it's been absolutely invaluable for us, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely, because we've been able to stay off grid, we've been able to park for free for a lot more, but we've been also to find campsites, and we've been able to find everything up based on other people's reviews. We don't take them fully into account.
Some of them are just ridiculous things, like there was nobody there for me to speak to, so they give them 1 star. That doesn't really reflect the place itself, so sometimes you do need to make a judgment call on whether or not you think the review is worthwhile listening to.
But it has been brilliant for us.
But it's been fantastic for us. We would highly, highly recommend using Park for Night and getting the paid app if you're going to be doing this more as a serious motorhome.
We're not affiliated to them.
No, we're not affiliated to them, so you just need to find, there's the website parkfornight.com.
But download the app anyway.
Download the app as well.
So those are our top 5 tips as a beginner. Now, probably a lot of you already know about this if you're really experienced. Maybe you don't. So hopefully it's at least helped 1, maybe 2 people. Even
if you're experienced, it doesn't mean that you know everything either. No. And you might just find something on there you go, I hadn't thought of that.
That's it. So as a bonus, as promised, here's something we found out yesterday from people that have been motorhoming for 20 odd years. They'd been motorhoming with their own children as road school and homeschool for over 10 years. Even they only started doing this, what did they say,
couple of years ago, after 20 odd years of motorhome,
and it changed the way they do things. And it's something very, very simple.
So we've just taught you about Park for Night on the top tip number 1, and we were looking for water, weren't we? So we came to somewhere that has got a water fill up spot. When we got here, it doesn't work, but there's a little water fountain over the road, but it hasn't got any kind of connection for the pipe, for the hose or anything like that. So watering cans, that has been a game changer for us.
Well, it's
the most ridiculous thing.
It saved us money yesterday because we didn't have to pay for the water, and we didn't have to put €8 in like a German did because it wasn't working.
Didn't know.
So he's kind of wasted that.
So we've got ourselves a 5 litre watering can that we got from Eurospar just over the road, which was €4.99, and we got Easter a little 2 litre one as well, because she's got to be involved. So we've just been filling this up and popping it straight into the freshwater tank, and we're good to go.
We only use it for the fresh water, nothing else, to make sure the fresh water isn't contaminated. We'll give that a good kind of clean out first.
Yeah.
One thing we'd also find it useful for the fresh water is on the way down here, we were looking for places, we didn't want to kind of pay to stay somewhere, and you got your service stations which have got water in.
Yeah.
They only had, again like it is here, a fresh water tap. It's drinking water, it's fresh water, but no kind of connection for the hose.
For him.
That's it. So we were able to get 5-10 litres out of bottle after bottle after bottle.
Yeah.
Come here, we could have done it in one fell swoop. So an essential tip that we only found out yesterday that was brilliant for us. I hope you found those 5 tips plus the bonus one helpful. If you didn't, please send us some tips so we can add them to the next video. They have been essential for us personally. They may not be essential for you, but we hope they at least help some newer people, anybody. So please don't forget to like, maybe comment, especially if you've got a tip.
Comment with your tips.
Yeah, that would be fantastic if you comment with your tips, because that'll help us out. Subscribe, that'd be wonderful. We're a family of 4 plus a Cocker Spaniel who are full-time van lifers, currently travelling around Europe and the UK and having some adventures. So pop over to the page. I hope you enjoy the adventures with us, but I hope you got something from today's tips. Bye.